Hello you beautiful legends, and welcome to short episode of Blunt Force Healing podcast. This video update and episode is number 394. So we are pretty much 6 days away from magical 400 days milestone, which is amazing to feel, especially that this project as a blog and a podcast is a daily journal. So for the last 394 days, not a single day was without writing the blog post and recording some form of podcast episode. Not a single day, which is, I think, quite achievement. Albeit some of those episodes were shorter or, less interesting. It's still, that was the goal of this project, to maintain everyday routine. Almost like a challenge, but it was more of an accountability means. Not was, is, because I still continue that, and this is what's happening. So, if you're new to the channel, obviously I suggest browsing through and checking different days and episodes, because some of the blog posts and episodes have different information. Some of them are just daily updates with nothing super interesting in them, but some of them might have valuable information to you, or the valuable in itself might be the fact that if you struggle to establish any routine or habit, or you were planning on blogging or podcasting and you're not sure if you have it, or if you have the right means or ideas to do, you can see from the very first day that I had no real idea about this, and it became the journal, because I wanted to just do something daily, and in place of not having an idea what to write about, which was holding me for a long time from producing any form of blog or any content on social media, except for occasional reels or posts in different Instagrams, TikToks, Facebook or others. This is real. This is almost 400 days of ongoing struggle, because it's not perfect. It's not easy. As you probably know, it's not easy to maintain any type of habit on a daily basis. And listen, like journalism is different from journaling. So journalism is obviously a form of news producing or writing about certain topic in media, like newspapers, TV, etc., like producing some TV content. But journaling is basically just recording something regularly, and the obvious form of journaling is to do it daily, because I think journaling comes from French, and it comes from the French word for day. So daily is a natural form of journaling, but there are forms of journaling that are less heavy on people that might have struggles to maintain it on an everyday basis. So you can do journaling weekly, or you can do journaling every second or every third day. It's up to you. Nobody can tell you that you're not doing journaling. Well, they can, but you shouldn't give a damn about it. Be yourself. Do what you want to do, and just start, because you can hear a lot of those cliche sayings that everything starts with an action, or you just need to do something, just do it, like Nike's slogan is. But it's as easy as that. You need to just do it. Overthinking is a curse of most of the people. And I'm the one to blame. I was overthinking stuff for 40 years. And I'm still overthinking a lot. So it's just a learning path and learning curve. But I just started. If you go to the day one, you can actually go to the blog and filter out first 7 days of blogging, and you will see how simple, cringe, and irrelevant to what I do now those particular posts were. So, and the podcast. And initially the podcast I wasn't even planning to do the podcast, but on the first day when I started writing, WordPress suggested to me to start the podcast, and immediately suggested Spotify, which was at the time, I think it was called Anchor FM. Spotify bought them in, I think, 2020 or 2018, but it was a very long journey before Spotify integrated that with their platform, and now it's called Spotify for podcasters. But it's basically the same thing, the same platform. And it suggested me to create the account and create a podcast episode. And it was as easy as just click and convert my blog posts that I've written into audio version by Spotify's engine or Anchor's engine. I think it was driven by some form of AI and some artificial voice. But if you're shy of your voice and you want to start with something, that's probably the way. Start now, get perfect later, like Rob Moore says. And I obviously didn't want it to be artificial voice, and even though I think that my voice is really cringe, I decided to read that blog post myself, and there was an option to actually record it online without kind of all that crap that you need to record it somewhere and then transfer it and then upload it. It was all in one place. It just redirected me to Anchor FM. I created the account and recorded it. So basically I was like audio booking my own blog. I was just reading those posts every single day, and that made it easier to do the parallel project built out of blog and podcast, and they are intertwined. Over time, obviously, it turned into something more. Around day 200, I changed the podcasting, so the audio version, to something freestyle and talking about particular day rather than reading it, because it felt a little bit artificial. And I don't know what was that day, probably day 260 something, I actually turned into video podcasting, and not liking my own face, still decided to go out, show this troll face and just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing. I won't die just because of recording my face, unless I do something stupid, I guess, on the video. So that's it. The journey is ongoing, it's evolving, and that was the theme for today. I don't really have any special update today, but there will be more in the blog post. As always, the video is recorded first and audio, and then at the end of the day I add up text and a lot of details, and they are combined into the blog post where this episode is embedded as well. So it's the best place to consume my content and this project, Blunt Force Healing, on the actual website www.bluntforcehealing.com or simply bluntforcehealing.wordpress.com. For now, that's it. Thank you very much for popping by. Maybe tomorrow will be more interesting. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.